New hybrid creatures, born from human and alien DNA, are wreaking havoc on Earth. 200 years after Lieutenant Ellen Ripley's heroic sacrifice, scientists bring her back through cloning. This all unfolds aboard the military research spaceship Auriga, where a crew of 42 soldiers and 7 scientists work under strict protocols. Astonishingly, the cloned Ripley shows no defects or abnormalities. Once she's fully developed, scientists extract an alien queen embryo from her, marveling at her pristine condition. Dr. Getterman suggests they keep Ripley alive, and, agreeing, Dr. Wren orders her body sewn up and placed in a secure cell under heavy guard. Days later, Ripley regains consciousness, disoriented and unaware of her situation. She notices the number 8 marked on her body but doesn't understand its meaning. Dr. Getterman checks on her condition and finds her stable. Dr. Wren, inspecting her stitches, shows excessive curiosity, prompting Ripley to react violently and attack him before guards subdue her. During further examination, scientists discover traces of alien DNA in Ripley, giving her remarkable learning abilities, lightning-fast reflexes, immense physical strength, animalistic instincts, and rapid healing. The scientists are thrilled with their results, but General Perez remains skeptical. His focus is the alien queen, now maturing and starting to lay eggs. To him, Ripley is a mere byproduct he's ready to eliminate at any sign of risk. Despite this, Wren and Getterman argue for her preservation and continued study. Over time, Ripley senses a strange connection with the alien queen and warns the crew of their impending doom at the hands of these creatures. Wren dismisses her warning, confident that technological advances in the past 200 years will keep them safe. Yet Ripley, her memory slowly resurfacing, knows the truth. The aliens are beyond control, and the crew is doomed. Soon, a pirate ship led by Frank Elgin approaches Auriga. Elgin and 5 mercenaries board the military vessel, planning to deliver their precious cargo, stolen stasis pods containing abducted miners. Before entering enemy territory, the 6 prepare for combat. Gary Christie, Elgin's second in command on the pirate ship Betty, arms himself with twin pistols deployed by a special mechanism hidden in his sleeves. Vries, a disabled mechanic who moves around in a wheelchair, readies his weapons while enduring the taunts of Johnner, a hot-tempered mercenary who distrusts his own team. New recruit Annalie Call shows sympathy toward Vries, displaying a rare bond of empathy among the otherwise hardened crew. Upon arriving on the military research ship, the crew of the Betty undergoes a thorough search with metal detectors. General Perez's guards remind them that weapons are strictly prohibited on board, but the 6 mercenaries disregard this rule. They manage to smuggle in their weapons, prepared to defend themselves if anyone tries to eliminate them as unwanted witnesses. Meeting with the general, Elgin finalizes a deal, handing over stasis pods containing miners. The scientists eagerly plan to use the miners as hosts for alien embryos, anticipating the arrival of new extraterrestrial creatures. Meanwhile, the Betty crew decides to stay on Auriga for a few days to rest before their next journey. In the recreation room, they encounter Ripley, who's casually playing basketball. Johnner tries to flirt with her but does so rudely. Ripley mocks the impolite mercenary and then punches him, knocking him out. The other crew members react aggressively, rushing to attack Ripley. Christie strikes her across the face with a barbell, but the clone withstands the blow effortlessly. She quickly overpowers several mercenaries until Dr. Wren steps in, reminding everyone that fighting is not allowed on board. It's then discovered that Ripley's blood is acidic, just like an alien's. That night, the Betty crew tries to keep the peace, avoiding conflicts with each other and with the scientists on Auriga. Dr. Getterman decides to check on the alien queen and heads to the lab, where he observes the hostile creature. When the alien acts aggressively, Getterman punishes it by releasing liquid nitrogen fumes. The creature quickly understands this form of discipline and becomes more compliant, leading Getterman to believe that Ripley was wrong. Training an alien might be simpler than expected. Meanwhile, alien drones begin to emerge from the infected miners. Pretending to be drunk, Call picks a fight with the mercenaries before slipping away. She sneaks past the guards and hacks the door to Ripley's room. Drawing a knife, she approaches Ripley, but then notices a scar on her chest, realizing the alien queen is no longer inside her. Call's mission is now in jeopardy. Ripley, now aware she's a clone, doesn't consider herself useless. She believes she can help Call with her plan to eliminate the new aliens, sensing a connection to the Queen and her offspring. As Call exits the room, soldiers surround her and accuse her of terrorism. Gathering all the mercenaries in the mess hall, the guards prepare to disarm them and carry out an execution. However, Elgin and his crew refuse to go down without a fight. Using their concealed weapons, they easily overpower the soldiers, taking Dr. Wren and the surviving soldier, DiStefano, hostage. Meanwhile, in one of the holding cells, 2 aliens attack a third, tearing it apart. Its acidic blood melts through the floor, allowing the remaining aliens to escape. Dr. Getterman tries to intervene, attempting to release more liquid nitrogen, but it's too late. As he steps into the cell to inspect the aftermath, one of the aliens returns and attacks him. As chaos unfolds, a ship-wide evacuation is ordered. The aliens prove to be far more intelligent than the scientists had anticipated, endangering the entire research mission. These monstrous creatures begin systematically eliminating anyone in their path. In one grim incident, an alien traps a soldier in a chamber and turns on the liquid nitrogen fumes, inflicting the same torturous punishment it had once endured. General Perez assists his soldiers in boarding escape pods and sends one group of survivors out into space. Hearing the terrifying screams of a monster nearby, the mercenary group realizes they're trapped and must work together if they hope to survive this deadly encounter. One of the aliens tries to break into Ripley's containment chamber. Not willing to confront the creature face to face, Ripley hacks the security system and uses her own acidic blood to melt an escape route through a backup exit. Meanwhile, Vries, exploring the ship, learns about the evacuation but quickly spots an approaching alien. The creature's saliva burns him, but despite being confined to a wheelchair, Vries gathers weapons to defend himself. General Perez prepares another escape vessel, but just before launch, an alien breaches the pod, killing the soldiers inside. Realizing their doom, Perez throws a grenade into the escape pod and launches it into space, sacrificing the pod and the alien inside. His relief is short-lived as a second alien, waiting behind him, attacks before he can celebrate. DiStefano joins the mercenaries, desperate to escape the ship, which has now become a death trap. Together, they attempt to reach Betty, but obstacles block their path. One alien hides in a ventilation shaft and attacks Elgin, catching him alone and killing him. The others mourn their fallen leader but are forced to keep moving, as the creature continues to close in. Just as the alien traps them, Ripley arrives, killing the beast and joining the group. Call vehemently opposes this, still viewing Ripley as the clone responsible for the monster's existence. But the others trust Ripley, recognizing her as one of the few who knows how to fight aliens and how to escape the ship. According to a scientist, there are around 12 aliens still on board, so the group must move quickly and shoot anything in their way. Vries, now wounded, escapes a close call and reunites with them. DiStefano informs the group that the fastest route back to the Betty is through a cargo elevator on the far end of Auriga. As they press forward, Ripley senses that the ship has altered its course. Ren confirms her suspicion. In emergencies, Auriga is programmed to return to Earth, meaning the planet is now at risk. None of the mercenaries wants to bring the aliens to Earth, so they must not only flee the ship within hours but also destroy it to protect humanity. On the way to the cargo elevator, Ripley notices a room marked 1 to 7. Realizing she is the 8th clone, she understands this is the lab where previous cloning attempts were made. Inside, she finds horrifying remnants of failed attempts to clone her, ghastly figures deformed by the alien queen growing inside them. Searching the room, she finds the 7th clone, alive but in unimaginable suffering, begging for release. Disturbed by the sight, Ripley takes a flamethrower and incinerates the lab. Although the others criticize her for wasting precious fuel, Call empathizes with her decision, understanding the pain that drove Ripley to do it. The group continues their journey and soon discovers a room filled with miners, all dead, except for one man, Purvis. Confused and disoriented, Purvis can't understand what happened or how he ended up there. The last thing he remembers is falling asleep on his ship. The group tells him the brutal truth: he's been used in an experiment and is now carrying an alien embryo. With only a few hours left to live, Purvis faces a grim fate, but Ripley and Call offer a sliver of hope, suggesting they try to freeze him along with a developing alien inside. Their next route takes them through water-filled sections of the facility. The eerie unknown lies ahead, but they have no choice but to swim through part of a flooded kitchen. As soon as they're fully submerged, 2 aliens start hunting them down. The creatures move faster underwater, but Johnner manages to take one out with a precise shot. The group makes it past the kitchen and heads for the cargo lift shaft. Elgin's girlfriend, however, can't keep up. An alien grabs her leg, and she becomes its next victim. The group tries to push forward but finds their way blocked by a membrane. They quickly break through, but it's clear they've only shaken off the pursuit because they've wandered into yet another alien trap. The mercenaries are now in the heart of the alien's nest, where new monsters are ready to hatch. One alien attacks Ripley, covering her face and dragging her down. The others aren't in much better shape, with new creatures set to emerge at any moment. Christie makes a difficult call, ordering everyone to dive underwater. He uses a grenade launcher, firing 2 rounds to incinerate the nest and clear a path to the lift shaft. Ripley manages to free herself from a newborn creature and swims after the others. They climb up a ladder, with Ren reaching the top first. He asks Call for a gun to override the door's security mechanism, but he tricks her and shoots her in the stomach. Call falls back into the water, where an alien attacks her, while Ren escapes, intent on reaching the mercenary ship first. The group is now trapped with no way out. The door is locked, and an alien is closing in on them. It attacks Vries and Christie, who is carrying Vries on his back. Using acid as a weapon, the alien injures them, making it harder to keep their grip on the ladder. Johnner risks his life to kill the creature, but another alien still clings to Christie's leg, pulling them both down. Realizing he's become a liability, Christie cuts his straps and sacrifices himself so Vries can survive. The team loses 2 members but still can't escape, as the door to the lift shaft remains locked. Suddenly, they hear a signal indicating the door is about to open. The group readies their weapons, bracing for an attack, when Call unexpectedly appears in front of them, alive. She climbed out of the water and unlocked the door from the other side. The alien hadn't attacked her. They soon learn why. Call is a second-generation android, built by other machines. Though some are suspicious of her newfound identity, the group has lost too many people to turn away any help they can get. Ren, now far ahead, seems impossible to stop as he seals off doors behind him. The only way to prevent his escape is by accessing Auriga's main computer, a task Call can accomplish from the chapel. Reluctant to engage with her machine-like side, she hesitates, but Ripley encourages her, appealing to her sense of humanity and the importance of their survival. Convincing Call, Ripley watches as she halts Ren and reprograms the ship to crash into an uninhabited area on Earth, hoping to destroy the aliens once and for all. A bond of mutual understanding forms between Ripley and Call. Though one is a clone and the other a robot, they feel more human than many people. Meanwhile, Purvis's condition worsens as the alien within him nears maturity, creating tension among the survivors, who, despite mistrusting him, hesitate to kill him preemptively. The group of 6 continues to escape, but Ripley senses the approaching alien queen. Just then, the floor beneath her collapses, sending her tumbling into a pit filled with monsters. With no way to save her, the others decide to press on, eventually finding the ship, only to find Ren lying in wait. He shoots Purvis and takes Call hostage, demanding they bring an alien to Earth. Realizing Ren's insane plan to unleash the creatures on humanity, they know they must stop him. Purvis, now nearly beyond saving, feels the alien stirring within him. Seizing the opportunity, he attacks Ren, ruthlessly beating him and, moments before the alien bursts from his chest, presses Ren's head against his own chest. The alien's emergence kills both Ren and Purvis, allowing the mercenaries to kill the newborn creature. Ripley regains consciousness in the Queen's lair, where she notices something strange. The Queen, having inherited some of Ripley's human DNA, has entered a second reproductive phase, capable of live births. The lone surviving scientist marvels at the birth of a human-like hybrid monster, which immediately perceives the Queen as an enemy and kills her. Recognizing Ripley as its mother, the creature shows her affection before turning to devour Getamin. Taking advantage of the distraction, Ripley escapes. The team prepares for takeoff, but with their primary pilots dead, and Vries lacking the skills to operate the ship, they struggle. Ripley arrives just in time to help them launch, narrowly escaping Auriga. The flight is turbulent as one of the hatches remains unsealed. Call heads to the cargo bay, where she encounters the humanoid monster that has also boarded the ship. Attempting to hide, she manages to stay out of sight temporarily. Di Stefano, hearing Call scream, rushes to help but becomes an easy target for the monster. Realizing something terrible is happening in the cargo bay, Ripley leaves Vries and Johnner at the controls. Confronting the creature, she cleverly exploits its trust, intentionally injuring her hand on its teeth. Her blood, acidic like that of the aliens, burns a hole in the bay window, creating a vacuum that begins sucking everything out into space. The monster is unable to resist and is ultimately ejected into the void. Moments later, Auriga crashes into Earth and explodes, eradicating the alien threat. The pirate's ship, avoiding impact, descends safely into Earth's atmosphere. The 4 survivors celebrate their survival and their victory in preventing an alien invasion of humanity. Ripley and Call, seeing Earth through the window, feel a mix of wonder and uncertainty. For Ripley, this planet feels foreign. She feels like an alien herself. Yet, looking at the vast world before her, she knows she's ready for whatever comes next. In the film, scientists resurrect Ripley and the alien for research and military purposes, disregarding the risks. Can scientific experiments be justified if they jeopardize human safety? Where is the line between scientific curiosity and the irresponsible use of science? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.